Hey guys, welcome back to Just Tucking Around. Today I'm joined by a special guest, Tamenang Choh. He is a basketball player for Brown University, where he averaged 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists this past season. He finished his third Ivy League. He finished third in the Ivy League Conference in rebounding and put up 8 double-doubles. He attended Brooks Academy for high school, and the pandemic cut his team's postseason short. He had been declared for the NBA for the upcoming NBA draft, but has since decided to return to Brown for to play his senior season. Tim Nang, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you, Tucker. Thank you for having me. Thank you
Of
for the
course.
little intro too.
Yeah, I gotta let people know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, did a little research.
That's professional right there.
Thanks, man. And uh, congratulations on all of your accomplishments throughout your basketball career. Those are some pretty impressive stats.
I appreciate that, man. My teammates, you gotta give credit to them. Obviously
Definitely.
nothing without these teammates. So I appreciate it though.
Mm-hmm. So, how are you? How you been doing during this pandemic?
I've been good, man. It's kind of getting, same thing every day, but you kind of got to find something to do, get creative. But it's been all right. I've been able to kind of rest my body too, which is something obviously that this forces you to do. Usually get
Right.
the chance to do that. So there's some benefits to it for sure.
Have you been doing anything to like stay in shape or get some work in during this time?
Yeah, like our trainer, our athletic trainer for our team, kind of like sent us stuff that we can do at home that we don't need like a bunch of equipment for. And there's actually a gym that I'm able to use in New Hampshire, so I've been able to kind of stay active and stay busy. So I'm thankful for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll just get right into some of these questions. When did you first start playing basketball?
Oh, first time I played basketball, like I officially got on the team. I think it was fourth grade was the first time I played like official team basketball with refs and all that. But before that, I've been playing in parks all the time. Grew up in River Place, right across from Lowell High, and there's like a little court in the back. So I've been playing there for I don't even know how long. So yeah.
And was it just like love at first sight where you just started playing and you just couldn't put the ball down after that?
That's actually funny. I don't even know. Honestly, I think it was just like I was taller than everybody, so it's kind of like, hey, like I'm kind of good at this kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was definitely fun though, because it helped me meet a lot of new people that obviously I wouldn't have met without it. So it definitely grew on me a lot as I continue to grow older. So I'm happy about it.
So as you kept playing and you were playing in middle school and stuff, you were you just like, hey, I'm kind of good at this. What was the recruitment like for, or maybe not recruitment, but your decision process making for when you decided to go to Brooks?
Well, it was kind of funny too because I went to a Catholic school, St. Michael's,
Hmm.
and then eighth grade came around, and a lot of people usually go to like Lowell Catholic or my friends and Boys and Girls Club either go to Lowell High. So, but like I kind of knew like I wanted to go to prep school only because like all the guys you see on the hoop mixtapes and YouTube and all that, guys who I wanted to be obviously all went to these prep schools. So like, all right, well I should probably do that too, follow their footsteps. So I kind of got introduced to Coach McVay at Brooks through my AAU team because we used to have practices at Brooks, and then
Hmm.
obviously I applied, and I met him there, and it was a great connection that we had. So I knew I wanted to go there for sure.
And who would you say were like your biggest role models or mentors in your life or throughout your basketball career so far?
For basketball or just
You could give me one of each if you want.
um, man, that's tough. For basketball, I'd have to say for basketball growing up, like when I was in middle school and everything, like there were three guys I feel like were the guys to be, which is Makwazi, Mustafa, and Adrian. Like those, I'm sure like when you release this, people will know what I'm talking about. But like
Hmm.
those are guys who are like better than everybody, and they're like, dang, I want to play like them. You know what I mean? So those are kind of like my inspiration, I guess, for in terms of basketball. And then off the court, that's tough. There's a lot of people. I'm gonna just go with a lot of people because I don't want to not mention somebody because
Right. Yeah.
I can go on forever about that. But
Definitely.
I have a lot of great people in my corner who's helped support me and guided me.
And what role did your family have in your athletic career?
I mean, they're the reason why you put all these hours in for sure. Like my mom, being a single mom growing up, you see her working, night shifts, double time, just to support the family and all that. So she's definitely been, my anchor and my motivation to, hopefully one day be able to pay her back.
Definitely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What lessons would you say you have learned from playing basketball?
Lessons. Oh, dang, these are some good questions. You hit me with them.
Thanks.
Lessons I've learned from basketball. I'd say probably just consistency and like consistency and patience all in one. Just like
Mhm.
the next play mentality type thing. And another thing that I'm still learning today just is obviously the next play thing and how like if you work on something, it might not show immediately, but eventually, it will show. So those are big things that I take off the court with me in terms of whether it's my schoolwork or whatever the case may be. Like if you keep putting in work, the results will show.
Definitely. How would you describe your work ethic?
I think it's good. I have a good, great work ethic. I don't want to say too much.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think I put in some good hours, man.
That's
I don't want to.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that at that.
Yep. Um, so you're from Lowell, Massachusetts. Were the Celtics your favorite team growing up?
Yeah, yeah, they were my favorite team growing up for sure, 100%. KD was
Uh,
my favorite basketball player.
KD.
Yeah, by far, Kevin Durant was my favorite basketball player. Because we were both scrawny, so I was like, yeah, that's who I want to be. So, but nah, Celtics. I've loved the Celtics forever.
Who would you compare your play style to KD, or who would you say that you play similar to?
I don't really know who I'd compare. I wouldn't say KD because he's the lead of the elite. So I feel
Right.
like that would be doing him. That would be disrespect for him. But I don't know, just like a guy who has all around game. Can do a lot of different stuff on the court. So whoever that may be.
Definitely. So how has being from Lowell shaped you in the kind of person and player that you are?
I feel like Lowell is super diverse. This type of person, for me at least, is super diverse. You meet a lot of people,
Hmm.
Black, Asians, Hispanics, white people. So I feel like is really helped me to kind of be able to talk to different people, and just be able to, I don't want to say code switch, but you understand how to approach things in a different way. So I feel like Lowell's definitely had an effect on me in that way.
Definitely. And so when you were finishing up your seasons at Brooks and you were thinking about college, what were some of the schools that maybe you had in mind, or what was your process like when you were trying to find out what would be the best fit for you, and who was reaching out to you, and how did that dynamic work where you found yourself at Brown?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, my first I didn't really know where I was going to happen, obviously, because I hurt myself a little bit earlier in high school too, and I wasn't playing that much either. But I got a lot of recruitment off my AU team with mass rivals and everything, and that's when a lot of Ivy League schools started coming in, some mid-major schools, A10, American East schools started coming in. So, but I knew I wanted to go to Brown because he had the best relationship with me, and it's the best relationship with my AU coach too. So, and I trusted my AU coach, of course. So,
Right.
I took a couple of visits there, and I went to the camps over there too, and we grew our relationship together, and I was able to kind of trust him more, and trust my AU coach who was like leaning me towards there. So and I visited campus. The campus is beautiful, and I'm happy I made that choice to this day.
So, what kind of injury did you have in high school that limited your play?
Well, I like broke my hand, so I was in a
Mhm.
cast for a while. I was able to come back, but obviously a little rusty and everything. But
Right.
thankfully it didn't affect me that bad, so I was
That's good.
here for that.
Yeah. If you had to pick an injury, I bet a hand injury would be the one you would choose, because if it was something in like you see some guys like they get an injury to the knee or the ankle and it's really hard for them to come back. But
Yeah,
that's good
I,
that you were able to overcome that.
yeah, no, for sure. I've been blessed to, God forbid, I've been pretty healthy, so I'm
Yeah,
grateful for that.
definitely. And what are your what would you say are your favorite memories from the last few seasons at Brown?
My favorite memories the last few seasons at Brown. Um, well, the one that's ringing off the top of my head is probably our 20th win, and that was in the postseason
Hmm.
versus LMU, I believe. So that no, not LMU, FAU, Florida something. So yeah, that was kind of because that was our school record 20th win. So I was really happy to get that. And then obviously the Harvard game where the buzzer beater versus them, that was probably up there for sure. So yeah, those two moments.
Um, So what is it like when you're playing against teams like Duke, teams that you've seen Coach K probably coach like growing up your whole life in March Madness and watching that, and like being able to be on the court with these Duke players, like what is that like?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a really cool experience because, we were able to be there for a couple of days before the game. So, but like I remember, like I tried to not even think about it. Like when we got into when we got into the court, I was just like, there's another game. Don't
Mm-hmm.
even think about who's watching. Don't think about the court you're on or whatever. So I honestly was just locked into who we were playing, whether it was Duke on the cross their shirt or whatever the case may be.
Right. And who would you say are like some of the players that you had the toughest time defending or playing against, or
None,
like big
none.
none?
Yeah,
I
nah,
love
I'm
the
not giving
confidence, man.
nobody credit. I'd say my own teammates more than anybody else, really, because you guys you're battling with each other every day, so like each other's moves. They know your moves. So I feel like if anything, it'd be my teammates. It's hard to go at them every day because we can make each other better that way too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't give you that.
That's I feel like that's the right answer.
All right, cool.
um,
Sorry about that.
I love that confidence. So have you ever had to been matched up against any like current NBA players or prospects at that top
Um,
level?
did we play anyone? I'm not sure. I don't. Not anyone to like a crazy degree. Nah, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was just
nothing I
wondering.
can remember. I
So
mean,
you
obviously Duke. Sorry, we played Duke this year, but none of those guys are in NBA. So
right. That'll be really interesting to see how this whole draft plays out, and like because I feel like normally now the NBA finals would have like just ended and they'd be given prospects like workouts and stuff, and that's really not happening right now because of the whole pandemic. Um,
yeah.
did that play into your decision to go back to Brown, or was it more of something that you knew that you wanted to do with Brown regardless?
Yeah, no, I knew I was the main reason to put my name in was to get the feedback and input from the teams and see what I can do better or see what they think I did really well or what my weaknesses were. So I knew I wanted to at least come back. That was my main priority, unless I heard otherwise from the team. But yeah, that was my
Right.
main priority to do. But then with everything with coronavirus and everything, I wasn't even able to get in some workouts or whatever. So obviously, I decided to come back.
So when you declare, or when someone declares, so do teams reach out to you and like ask or like ask for workouts or some sort of interview, something like this? Like how does that work? Like behind the scenes that fans can
Yeah,
really
it's actually it's a lot to it that I didn't even know obviously until I did it. But like there's a certain amount of agents you can or a list of certain agents that you can hire or whatever, and then the teams obviously contact them, and then
mm-hmm.
obviously eventually contact you, or they can just go directly to you like they did with me or through your college coach or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's kind of the whole process with it. And then obviously there's forms you got to fill out and all that. But yeah.
And they give you like a scouting report or something, and you can kind of see the writing on the wall of where you would fit in and what would be the best decision for you.
Yeah, something like that. I did a lot of Zoom calls with the team, so I was able to
Mm-hmm.
like have a conversation with them through FaceTime or Zoom, or whatever the case may be, and then we just kind of was talk through my game and what they thought I did well, what they thought I didn't do well, and kind of like personal questions too about my family and how I grew up and stuff like that. So it
Mm-hmm.
was it was really cool, experience, and I'm happy I did it.
Um, Last year, another player from Lowell, Terrence Mann, was drafted. Have you ever had any connection with him or reached out to him at all?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's big bro for sure. Yeah, he was actually really helpful in the whole process too, just kind of like telling me stuff to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
was obviously with all this stuff going on, he was supposed to help me up with some other stuff too, but obviously he couldn't because of this. But yeah,
Right.
man, it was. Yeah, I've known him for a while, and it's just really cool to see him play at that level.
Definitely. So I definitely felt like the whole city kind of embraced him, and even though like someone like me, like I had never seen him play before, but like as soon as I found out that there was someone from here, because he didn't play at Lowell High, and that's where I went. But just hearing about like him going through the whole draft process and then end up being selected by the Clippers, like that was just such a cool moment, and hopefully some point that day comes for you, and everyone will have that same reaction for you, because that would be amazing.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, man, that'll be a dream come true. By God's grace, hopefully, one day.
Definitely. Um, So, what are your goals for next season?
Um, for anything, my main goal is to obviously win the Ivy League tournament and
Mhm.
obviously the Ivy League regular season too. I feel like, especially going to my senior year, if I can't get at least one banner in 4 years, I feel like my time at Brown was kind of wasted. So if I can, do that, if we can do that as a team and bring the banner back, I'd be ecstatic.
And you are a primarily a forward, right?
Yeah, forward or wing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And who are some of the teammates that you would say that I bet you're close with all of them, but who are the ones that you would say that you spend the most time with or have influenced your game the most?
Influence my game.
Yeah.
Well, no, well, like kind of a bunch of different. Like you kind of say, definitely all of them. But growing up, not growing up, but my first 2 years there, freshman and sophomore year, I
Mm-hmm.
looked up to guys like Obi Akoli, and he was like a kind of guy who kind of took me under his wing. So I was grateful for that. And now like I'm really close to guys like David Mitchell and Perry Cowan. I'm literally close to everybody, but those guys, I'm with pretty much most of the days, and we eat together all the time as a team. And
Mm-hmm.
just spend most times at whether it's late nights in the dining halls, or mornings after practice and eating breakfast. So we're all together. It's a big team, big family, and I'm just happy to be on there.
So Brown is an Ivy League school, so I would imagine that obviously with any school, but especially with a college like Brown, having to balance academics and
Yeah.
schoolwork must be somewhat of a challenge. So, what is that balance like for you, and how do you deal with that?
Honestly, I'm so grateful to go to Brooks because Brooks kind of helped me do that because
Definitely.
they have a certain time you have to be at this place. They have study hall. Like they don't play around with stuff like that. So that kind of helped me with my time management prior to going to Brown. And then obviously going to Brown is a whole different level of academics and athletics, obviously. But I was able to kind of figure it out early and quickly because I went to Brooks, and that obviously paid off because I'm doing pretty well over there.
Um, could you give me like a little breakdown of like a day in the life of a Division I basketball player and like how that works? Like, what is like when you wake up to when you go to sleep? What is it like balancing classes, homework,
Yeah.
practice, games, and traveling and all that?
No, for sure. Well, in the fall, well, it's kind of funny because every semester or every season is kind of different. But in the fall, we have our morning workouts, whether it's 6 a.m., whatever time it may be. It's early in the morning before classes start. So, you kind of want to get a little snack in before that, then go to your morning practice. And then sometimes you have lift right after that or lift before that, whatever the case may be. And then breakfast, and after breakfast you go to one of your classes, and either you come back and do your lift that you didn't get to do earlier, or you have another class, you're able to take a nap, and then you have lunch and maybe another class, but then you got to get back over to the gym. And usually sometimes we have 2 days, sometimes we can just get shots up on our own with the coach, and then you have to do your homework, which takes pretty much the rest of the day. And then some guys get in again late night and try to get some more shots up, and sometimes play some pickup games,
Mhm.
especially when recruits come on campus. So yeah, and then bedtime, and then start it all up again.
So, what would you say is like? What would you say was the biggest adjustment for you from going from high school to college and dealing with everything that comes with that? What was like the hardest thing for you to overcome um, at Brown?
For me personally, it was just kind of knowing where I fit in on like the basketball team,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to make sure that I was on the court, like I was playing. I wasn't just on the bench and just racking up dust. Because that was probably the hardest thing for me. Because coming off at Brooks, we just won a championship, went undefeated the whole year. So
Wow.
and I was playing a lot. So and then coming into the Division I program, there's a bunch of guys that are already in front of you. So the hardest part for me was just kind of figure out what I can do to, make sure that the coaches have to play me, whether it's getting the extra rebound, getting the defensive stop, whatever it was. So that was kind of just at least hard for me to kind of figure out what that was. You know what I mean? Just so,
Definitely.
and I kind of figured it out, thankfully. So yeah.
That's awesome. What are your goals for beyond next season? And like, are you looking to declare again after that, or?
Well, yeah, I'll be a senior, so whatever happens, happens. But I'm
Mhm.
I'm not even worried about that for now. I just want to kind of
focused on the next game.
Yeah, that was kind of what this summer was about. So now that's in the past. So I'm just ready for this year.
That's awesome. I think I'm going to wrap things up because I touched on everything I had in mind. So thank you so much for doing this. And this was great. I had a great time.
Appreciate it, Tucker, man. I'm so grateful you had me on here.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. So yeah, everyone, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And this will be available, I think, on Friday on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And yeah, so thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Ooh, look at my diamonds, look at my drip, yeah. Ooh, I'm getting blessed, I feel like it's a dream, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I'm the man, yeah.